If you ask anyone who knows me, they would tell you that I'm a pretty die-hard Godzilla fan. So as you can imagine, I have a lot of kaiju stuff lying around. This channel is basically a hodgepodge of hobbies and collections, so I thought a review would fit pretty well here. You'll probably see a few more products like this one on the junk drawer, so if you're into that kind of stuff or Godzilla, great to have you. Today, as the title suggests, I'm going to be talking about the 1989 Godzilla recently released by NECA and whether or not this figure belongs in one of your collections. Starting with the box, I'm a huge fan of the original poster art, and it makes a really nice backdrop for the figure. The artwork is by Noriyoshi Orai, and if you're into that kind of artwork, then I'd highly recommend checking them out. Here is the cover, the left side, the right side, the back, the top, the bottom, and the exposed front. Here he is out of the box, and I gotta say, NECA did an amazing job. Not only does he have a nice presence, but these dorsal spines flow so nicely all the way down to his super long tail. Speaking of the tail, it's very long and also very posable. Each section is connected with a ball joint, and each of these ball joints feel perfect, which makes Biogoji's tail really satisfying to articulate. It can be stretched out pretty far too. You could probably get this tail completely straight if you wanted to with just a little bit of effort. There is a piece of bendy wire at the end, so just be careful not to break this. Moving on to the body section of Godzilla, he's got this nice double ball joint that helps the figure swivel and move up and down. You can also twist the figure's torso all the way around if you want to. He's got a really nice rough texture on the body, but not too rough like in some other figures. His arms, head, hands, everything is articulated well, which is awesome. Talking about his head, his mouth can open and close. His head can move around like so. Only downside here is that he cannot look all the way up. I don't mind this because he's just going to be on my shelf looking down the whole time. His arms are posable, kind of the same stuff you'd expect from all the other NECA figures, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this. His chest is wonderfully textured with the same meaty thighs, and man is he dummy thick. He's got a nice paint, sort of like an olive gray that coats the majority of the figure, and it doesn't like to come off, which is good. His legs are also very articulated, though pretty stiff, and they can move in about this far to show that he has to go to the bathroom. There's also this joint at the knee and a nice pivot at the foot. Each nail is nicely painted, but there are some issues with the paint chipping. Mine tends to have issues on this foot, which is pretty annoying. Luckily, there doesn't seem to be too much of this on the rest of the figure. My only other issue with this guy is his hands on the left side. The two middle fingers seem to be fused together, and it looks like there's not as much paint applied here. I tried to bend it back with a hairdryer, but I couldn't get it to stay. The dorsal plates also look great and are made of a softer plastic. Oh, and there's this atomic breath effect that comes with the figure. I almost forgot about it in the box because I don't really like it. It looks quickly painted and the sculpt is kind of boring, which takes away from the figure's amazing craftsmanship. Overall, I think this figure is amazing, and if you're a fan of Godzilla vs. Biollante or the Heisei Godzilla design, then pick this one up. I hope you enjoyed this video and more to come on the junk drawer.